What's up everybody, Brian here with BPS Customs. As this video hits your eyeballs, I'm in a metal tube 30,000 feet in the sky, trying to relax a little bit before what is likely going to be the most hectic 5 days of my YouTube career, CES 2017. Now for years, CES has been the place where the hot new trend in PC hardware debuts or makes a significant push, and for the past 2 years, companies have been pumping the industry full of products that cram RGB LEDs in every possible crack and crevice. Now, I'm all about innovation and enhancements, and because microarchitecture upgrades and iterative releases on existing product lines aren't always the sexiest things to talk about, I understand the need for companies to add some flair here and there. But have we reached a saturation point? Do we really need to RGB all the things? Well, Corsair thinks so, and they sent me 2 of their latest products so I can judge for myself. Let's take a look at the K70 LUX keyboard and the MM800 Polaris mousepad. I will fully admit that when Corsair announced they were following Razer's lead in releasing an RGB-enabled mousepad, I rolled my eyes a little bit, and I certainly was not the only one. PC World even ran a headline that said, "Oh great, now Corsair has a $60 light-up mousepad too. I guess we have to take this stupid trend seriously now." But that headline speaks volumes. Corsair is an industry giant, and if they're investing significant R&D dollars into something, chances are it might be more than just a gimmick. So when they asked me if I wanted to take a look at one, I was intrigued. So the first thing you notice about the MM800 is that it's big. It's roughly 10 inches by 14 inches and will take up a good portion of your desk space, likely more than you already have allocated for this function. However, it is no thicker than average, coming in at only 5mm in height. This is a remarkable achievement considering how vibrant the LED strip that surrounds the left, right, and bottom edge. The top edge is reserved for the circuitry that powers the lighting, as well as a USB pass-through. This is a thoughtful addition by Corsair, as the Razer Firefly omits this feature, but it highlights one of my major gripes with the increased prevalence of RGB accessories: the need for additional power cables to power and control the lighting through software. By buying the Polaris, you are already committing to one more cable on your desk. I chose to daisy chain it off the USB pass-through of my keyboard, but many users don't have this option and will have to run the cable all the way back to their tower. Now, for many that want the unique experience of being able to individually control the 15 lighting zones on the Polaris, this is probably just a minor inconvenience. But I honestly found it distracting, as I keep my desk relatively free of clutter, and in order to keep my OCD in check, I had to fold the cable up neatly and run it as close to the top of the keyboard as I could manage. This is my biggest beef with the unit, and one that could be solved pretty easily. If the USB cable was made to be detachable, Corsair could offer both short and long versions. This way, if you're running it off of your keyboard like me, you wouldn't need to cable manage 5 feet of cord. Functionally as a mousepad, the Polaris features a speed-type surface and offers gamers a low-friction microtexture to run their mice across. I didn't run any sort of scientific tests, but in the FPS gaming I did, I haven't found any reason to think it's any more or less accurate than a fabric pad. The bottom is covered in a grippy textured rubber that prevents it from skidding around your desk, as I've definitely had happen with other hard surface mouse pads in the past. Now, is the Polaris worth your $60? Well, strictly as a mouse pad, no. It doesn't offer anything that a $15 product doesn't as far as improving your gameplay or accuracy of your mouse movement. However, as a desk showpiece, a companion to other RGB accessories, or as the final part in your Tron-themed setup, yes. There's only one other product on the market like it, and the lighting control and USB pass-through make this far superior to the Firefly. Now, sitting right next to the fancy pants mousepad is Corsair's top-of-the-line offering for competitive FPS players, the K70 LUX. I have the version with Cherry MX red switches, which is my preference as I like the linear actuation and relatively quiet operation. But Corsair also offers the K70 with browns, or with blues if you like to sexually assault your ears and the ears of anyone within 100 yards. The K70 is built entirely of aluminum, with the exposed top surface having a subtle yet pleasing brush texture. As a result, it is quite hefty and sturdy, with the chassis having almost zero flex. It comes packaged with a detachable, dimpled, soft touch wrist rest that can be angled to rest flat on your desk. It also has something that I've been asking companies to bring back for a number of years now: dedicated media keys. The play, pause, rewind, fast forward, and especially the excellent textured metal volume roller have seen heavy use in the 3 weeks or so I've been using this keyboard. It's so nice not to have to hold down a function key to change the volume, and the location of the keys is perfect, meaning that I could easily bump up the volume with my right hand because it's right next to my mouse. Adding to the convenience of the K70 is something that has become pretty standard on high-end units: a USB pass-through at the top. There's also a switch that enables compatibility with legacy BIOS versions that might not recognize the keyboard at first. The K70 features 100% anti-ghosting as well as full 104 key rollover. Typing on the K70 is not really any different than using any other red switch keyboard, although I have to say the shape of the keycaps is very pleasing to me. They aren't huge or awkwardly shaped, and the font is large and clear. Corsair also provides you with alternate textured gray keycaps for FPS and MOBA gaming. The RGB lighting effects here are pretty standard, and you could choose from all of the old standbys like spectrum wave, breathing, or static color. The LEDs themselves, though, are vibrant and color accurate to what you select in the software. Combined with the slick brushed aluminum finish, this is definitely one of the best looking keyboards I've ever tested. Now, controlling the lighting on both the K70 and the MM800 is fairly simple through Q, or the Corsair utility engine. This is Corsair's one-stop shop for controlling all things related to their peripherals that are attached to your machine. It's a similar concept to NZXT's CAM software, where basically anything you plug in will be detected and the controls for that product will automatically become available. It's a clean layout with relatively intuitive controls, and I had no issues using it to configure the lighting on either of these two products. Having these two sitting on a desk in front of you in a dark room is definitely an experience. My wife even came into my office one time and said, "Ooh, pretty." Maybe one day we could hope for an extended version of the Polaris that you could sit under your keyboard as well, but for now we'll just have to make do with what we have. Corsair is really pushing forward with the RGBification of its products, and although I'm sure there will come a point where we say enough is enough, after taking a look at their latest keyboard and mousepad offerings, I could say that I don't think we're quite there yet. Thanks for watching, guys, and get subscribed to the channel if you're not already. Don't forget that I'll be bringing you all kinds of saucy CES coverage all weekend and likely into the next week. Stay tuned.